What's up, guys? It's your girl HeyParis here, back at it again. But it is part 2 to the story time that you guys have been harassing me to finish. So I'm gonna finish it right here, right now, okay? I'm sorry, I apologize, my bad. Okay, so if you didn't see part 1, there's no point in watching this video. Go watch part 1. It is called like, Yo Gay Daddy or something like that. I don't know, her daddy is gay, something like that. Part 1, go watch it. If you don't go watch it, this is not going to make any sense to you. So there'll be no point of continuing this video. I'm just being honest, okay? But where we last left off, a bunch of things happened in between. But I'm just going to touch on the 3 main events that are juicy and get straight to the point of how my friend's daddy came out as gay and left his wife for his his nigga mistress, his sister nigga, his boyfriend, okay? So the first main event that happened is, if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure I called her Pantene in the first video, so we're gonna continue calling her Pantene. But first of all, I really wanted her in this video, but the thing is, we're gonna get into it, but she won the lottery, literally won the lottery, like a lot of money. I'll talk about it later on in the video. And she moved into this big ass mansion, y'all. She don't live in Toronto no more. So it's hard for us to basically meet up, because she lives far. So I'm gonna just tell it by myself. She actually said she was gonna do a TikTok about this story. So if you end up going on your For You page and see a girl talking about how her dad came out as gay, it's probably Pantene, okay? Okay, boom. So here's what happened. Like I said in the first video, Pantene had a brother. He ain't dead. That nigga's not dead. He's alive and well. Pantene has a brother, and he was kind of like in and out of the house, meaning like he was at his girlfriend's house most of the time, but that like he didn't officially move out, you know what I mean? Like he was bouncing back and forth from his house to her house or whatever. And on this particular night, or should I say early morning, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and this particular morning he went out to like a friend's trip. Like, you know how friends get together and they like go to Jamaica or something? I don't know the details of where they went or what was going on, but they had like a friend's trip, and he ended up coming back home early. And Pantene's mom was not in the country. Well, she was in the country. She was not in the province because she was back and forth from Nova Scotia to Toronto because she was like a sick family member or something like that. So Pantene's mom wasn't home. Brother wasn't home, but came home early. Pantene was home and sleeping in her bed, sleeping sound, okay? And this is what had happened. Like, her brother comes home. Obviously, the first thing you want to do when you come home is like let your parents know, like, I'm home, just so you know, so they don't feel like, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I just heard a noise downstairs, like who's breaking into the house. Pantene's brother said he tried calling his dad ahead of time to be like, hey, I'm coming home early. He didn't answer the calls, didn't answer the text, so he just came home. When he opened the door to go upstairs, he heard the shower in his parents' bedroom on, so he assumed, you know, like maybe my dad's taking a shower even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What you doing washing yourself off at 3 o'clock in the morning? We don't know. It's none of our business. But he went in the room to, you know, knock on the bathroom door to be like, hey dad, just so you know, I'm home. He goes into his parents' bedroom, sees that the bathroom door is closed, and decides, okay, I'm gonna wait for him to come out of the shower. So he turns around, and as he turns around, there's like a seat next to the entrance of the bedroom. As he turns around, he sees a nigga sitting beside the door on the seat. So immediately he just starts swinging. Like, nigga, I would be swinging too. The fact I would be swinging for my life, because who are you in my parents' bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning? Who are you? Is this a home invasion? Are we being robbed? You sitting down nice and content, looking happy as hell. He said that he had a smile on his face. What you smiling for? I don't know you, sir. I do not know you. But Pantene's brother started swinging. Listen, when you're sitting down and someone is beating your ass, they really beating that ass. Like, it is almost impossible for you to stand up and defend yourself. So imagine the whooping that man took that night. It was a serious whooping. And comparing age, height, weight, like he got mashed up, almost beat to a pulp, because Pantene's brother was like, there is a man in my house who is not my father, and it is 3 o'clock in the morning. So as he's just feeding punches to this man, the man is obviously screaming help. He's wailing. Is that the word, wailing? He's making sounds and grunts and, you know, trying to protect himself, but at the same time, like, pleading for help from anyone who could hear him. And Pantine's dad comes out the shower with a towel around his waist and tries to break up the fight. Meanwhile, Pantine is in her bed, shitting her drawers, because she's thinking, why is someone in my house screaming help? The only two people in this house, or the only two people who are supposed to be in this house, is me and my pops. Me and my father. That's the only people who she thinks is in the house. So Pantine, being scared shitless, calls the police. She called the po-po hoe. When the police come, you know, the guy who got his ass beat, Pantine's side nigga, he's like, I don't want to press charges. Like, I just want to go home. I don't want anything to do with this. I need to leave. Police were like, sir, you need to go to the hospital. Like, your nose is broken, your lip is bleeding, you definitely need stitches in the top of your head. Like, there's a lot going on with the injuries that you have right now. He refused to go to the hospital, refused to press charges. What can the police do? Absolutely nothing. He ends up leaving, and Pantine's dad is left to answer the questions of who the hell was that? Who was that, daddy? Daddy, who was that? So after the police left, immediately Pantine tells me that she called her mom, who is in Nova Scotia. Calls her mom, says, listen, mom, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't be scared. Nobody's dead. Well, no one, someone almost died, but it's not somebody you wouldn't really care but if they died. But nobody's dead. We all good. Just listen to me and listen to me carefully. She explains the situation to her mom. Her mom's like, I am coming tonight. Like, I'm booking a flight, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there in the morning. Like, what do you mean there's a man in the house at 3 o'clock in the morning? So Pantine and her brother are pressing her dad for answers. Dad, who is this man in our house? What's going on? Pantine's dad tried to lie and say, oh, it was an old friend. He had missed his flight and he needed to stay for the layover of the plane. Let me stop you right there, sir. Let me tell you why you lying already. Because back then, we both lived in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada, okay? We lived in Scarbs. And the closest airport to Scarborough is Pearson Airport, which is in Mississauga, which is a whole nother city, which is a 2-hour drive. Why would somebody leave Pearson Airport in Mississauga to drive all the way to Scarborough for a layover? Why wouldn't you just stay in Pearson Airport and wait for your flight to come, sir? That don't make no damn sense. You could have thought of a better lie than that. Daddy, come on now, Dad. Come on now, Pops. And then Pantine pressed him and was like, Dad, this is the same guy that I saw you at McDonald's with, holding hands with when I was with Paris. So make that make sense. He would not let go of the story. The story was staying the same. He's a friend. He was here for a layover, and you guys are blowing this all out of proportion. They were not getting any answers out of him. Fast forward to the next day, Mom comes home, and Mom's like, what do you mean there was a man in my house? Sitting on what you call it? On my love seat. Huh? Lovers sit on love seats, okay, sir? What you doing sitting on my love seat? Again, Dad is not changing his story. At this point, in Pantine's mind, she has verified to herself that, yeah, my dad is gay. My father likes men, and that's just what it is. Now, see, Pantine wouldn't have a problem with her dad liking men if he wasn't deceiving her mom. That was her biggest problem, her biggest issue. Her brother, on the other hand, I'm be honest, homophobic. He not into that. He's one of those people that we do not rate, that we do not condone, that we do not like. I'll tell you right now, Pantine and her brother and her father and her mother, they don't talk to the brother because he is extremely violent and homophobic. I hope he don't get me. I don't think you'll see this video, but if you do, fix yourself. Please, I don't want you to beat my ass now. But Pantine's brother ends up moving out indefinitely because he didn't like the fact that there was a man in his house at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he thought the same thing, that, my dad likes men and is cheating on my mom with a man. And he didn't want any parts of that. Now, this is when the investigation started. This is the second event. At this point, Pantine's mom is like, I'm done with this guy. I don't care what lies he wants to continue making, I do not want to be in a marriage with him anymore. Like, she already solidified that in her mind. Pantene has already said to herself, my dad is gay. Mom thinks my husband is gay. Brother thinks my dad is gay. That's just what it is, okay? And because the dad doesn't want to come out and be honest and be himself and be truthful, they're like, okay, we just need some hardcore evidence that he's gay, and then I'm filing for divorce. At this point, Pantene already told her mom about the McDonald's situation, what me and her saw at McDonald's with our own eyes. And I don't know if I said this in the last video, but just being in their house, like, there was no love in the house. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you always see her mom and her dad, and it was like as if they were roommates, as if they barely liked each other. Like, it was, I never saw them lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy, no babe, no honey. They're calling each other by their first names. It was like not even a partnership. It was like they're just living under the same roof. Not even for the sake of the kids, but just like, just because. Like, I don't know if anyone understands that weird vibe or that weird feeling in someone's house where it's just like, do your parents like each other? Like, I don't ever see them like smiling or happy with each other ever. I don't even ever see them smiling or happy, period, to be honest. Like, that's the vibe that I was getting. And when I told Pantene that later on in life, she was like, yeah, I always felt that way. I always felt like my parents just didn't like each other. And that's kind of what it was. Like, he was just not being honest about what he was into, and he married a woman for what reasons we don't know, probably to make his family happy, but his parents at this point were dead. They passed away. So I feel like he felt like it was time for him to live his truth, but he should have done that truthfully without hurting the person he married's feelings and his children's. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, investigation started happening. So Pantene decided to connect her phone her dad's phone to her phone so that she would receive all of the text messages, all the videos, all the pictures that he receives, all the calls that he receives from his phone to her phone. It's something that's on iOS. I don't know if they still have it, but basically what people will do is, if you go into like settings and you go to I don't know, I've never done it before, but I know friends who've done it to catch their cheating their boyfriends and stuff, where you go to like settings and you go to like phone, and then you can add your number. So anytime someone calls you, anytime someone calls your boyfriend or texts your boyfriend, sends a picture, it goes straight to your phone, and they would have no clue that you did that unless they go into that settings portion of your phone and see that. You get what I'm saying? So she did that with her dad's phone, and she was receiving all of his text messages, all of his phone calls, everything. She obviously wasn't answering any of his phone calls, but she was getting text messages from this man. And it solidified everything. Calling him boo, calling him baby, and then the pictures came in. You know what I'm saying? Purple pickles, peanuts, the works. Could have made a whole fruit smoothie with those pictures, if you get what I'm saying. A lot of dirtiness in those photos. And even links to like gay porn videos, and like that was kind of the end of the road. That was basically like, this is it. My father likes mints. So instead of them like, because she was showing her mom too. She wasn't keeping it to herself. She was showing her mom too. She's 100% on her mom's side. Her and her mom are working together to figure out how to basically finalize this divorce with proof. So she's showing her mom. Her mom was disgusted. Her mom was sad. Her mom was going through it, obviously. Anyone would be. And they didn't want to go straight to him and be like, look, we hacked into your phone. We have all your text messages. We know what you've been doing. Yada, yada, yada. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to like catch him in the act. So she had connected his phone to her phone for like almost 2 or 3 months. So she was seeing everything, and she said that she could barely look her father in the eyes because of like the graphic things that she saw on his phone. And she just felt like he wasn't who she knew. Like he was faking who he was the entire time. And she actually fell into a depression because of this. She was going through a lot. And as a friend, I did not know that until, recently we were talking, and she was telling me like this was one of the hardest moments of her life, hardest thing she's ever dealt with in her life. But there's a happy ending, don't worry. That's why I'm able to tell a story. So for 3 months, she's tracking his text messages, his photos, all of that. And finally, they get a breakthrough where they're able to catch him in the act, which is he is planning to meet up with a guy, not even the side nigga, you know, not even the nigga that we seen at McDonald's, not even the man that was upstairs in their house, the same man from McDonald's, not him, a whole different dude, a whole different person. He was planning, excuse me. He was planning to meet up with that guy in a hotel for God knows what. Like, I didn't ask for too much details on that, but that's what she said. So on the day that he was gonna go, he messaged Pantine's mom and said that he's staying late after work because he's behind on his papers or whatever. So Pantine's mom played along, okay, cool, no problem, whatever. In reality, he was going to I can't even pronounce it. The let me try and get the pronunciation. Shangri-La. Anyways, this expensive ass hotel in Toronto. And when I say expensive, I'm talking about when celebrities come to Toronto, that's where they be staying at. And her mom wasn't even mad at the fact that, you know, he was going there to, satisfy his needs or whatever. She was more upset at the fact that he has never spent that much money on her throughout their entire marriage. And I would be upset about that too. They had dinner reservations, they had a room, all of that. And mom was like, I can't believe he's spending all this money and couldn't even buy me a pair of panties throughout our entire marriage. And I feel you moms, that's messed up. So they knew the date and time that they were gonna be at the hotel. They showed up at the hotel an hour after he was supposed to be there. Their dinner reservations were like, say they got there at 6, their dinner reservations were like 7:30. So the mom tried a ting and she went to the front desk and she was like, hi, I'm the wife of so-and-so. He should be in room so-and-so. Could you give me an extra key? Front desk wasn't having it. Front desk was like, no, we can only give it to the person who the room is booked under, unfortunately. So give him a call, tell him to come downstairs, and then we could give you an extra key. But obviously they can't do that because they're sneaking up on him, duh. So instead they ended up just going upstairs and knocking on the room door. When they knock on the room door now, the door opens. It's not Pantine's dad. It's a man, obviously. And again, you can hear the shower on. I don't know what it is with daddy in the showers, but he stay in the showers. I guess he's trying to keep fresh and clean for when it's time to, you know, lean. I don't know. But Pantine and her mom are standing at the door and they're talking to the man. They're basically saying, listen, I know my husband is here. I know my dad is here. We just need to talk to him really quickly. It will not take long, and we are not trying to ruin your night. We hope you have a fantastic dinner. We hope you have a fantastic after the dinner. We hope that you guys enjoy yourselves and each other, basically. So Pantine's dad comes out of the shower and he's like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on? And mind you, this man knows nothing about his family, his wife, or anything like that. He's clueless. The side nigga now, he knew that he had a wife and kids, but this new man, he didn't know nothing about it. They came to the conclusion that he was probably just like a random hookup, but we'll get back to the side man in a second. Anyways, so the dad came out and was like, what's going on? What's happening here? Like, why are you guys here? And Pantine's mom, a very calm, collective, and cool ass lady, she said, listen, if you're gay, that is fine. I'm happy for you. And I'm happy that you're able to live your truth. But all I'm asking for is a divorce. I don't want any excuses. I don't want to hear your lies. You don't have to be sad. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried. I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to confirm that you will give me a divorce. And Pantine's dad just simply said, okay, I will. Like, damn, nigga, it was that easy. The fuck? Pantine was so shocked at how easy her dad gave up that before they left, Pantine was like, so dad, you're gay. You're a gay man? And her dad kind of looked down and was like, yes, yeah, I like men. Pantine was shocked, didn't know what to say, even though she already confirmed it in her head. But you know, imagine knowing your dad your entire life and not knowing that he's gay. That's like, that's crazy. That's insane. You know what I mean? So Pantene and her mom end up leaving. And they went undercover, by the way. Like, she was telling me that they were like covered head to toe, wigs on, glasses on, because they weren't sure exactly what they wanted to do. But in the end, they just did it the right way. Instead of being sneaky and trying to take pictures, they wanted to like take pictures of him and all that shit. They're like, let's take this shit off and just handle this the way it's supposed to be handled. Simply. Fast forward now, they get divorced. They end up having to sell the house because nobody wanted to live there. And they basically split everything 50-50. Pantene's dad ended up with the side nigga, the first one from McDonald's. They're together still. They're actually married. And Pantene's mom decided she wanted to be petty one last time before, you know, she never saw him ever again and never spoke to him ever again for the rest of her life. She went to the side nigga and told him, like, you should check to see where your man was, because he's not my man no more. He's not my husband. You should go and check to see where he was on June 14th at o'clock, whatever. Like, gave him all the details to basically tell him, like, he had a man in a hotel. So, like, look into that. And Pantene's dad and the side nigga broke up briefly because of that, but they got back together and they're married now. Pantene's mom, on the other hand, flourished. When I say flourish, we're gonna give her a round of applause at the end of this video, because I've never seen a come up like this after a divorce in my life, ever. What? Y'all let me know how Pantene's mom ended up with Pantene's dad's boss. His boss. Not his manager, not his supervisor, but the head of the head of the head of the boss. The boss. They're together, they're married, they're flourishing. Pantene's dad still works for the boss. So Pantene's dad, I'm sorry Pantene's dad, I like Pantene's dad. So if Pantene's dad sees this, like, no hard feelings, sir, but you should have just did the right thing from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's cool or whatever in my books, but like, if you gay, you should have just said that. So say that in. Okay? But Pantene's dad works for his ex-wife's husband. What? Now that's a flex. Because try and disrespect me and see how quick you get fired. My man to do that for me, okay? And then, like I said, Pantene herself, not really recently, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, she won the lottery. So not like the jackpot of like $72 million, but I'm not gonna say the amount, but enough for her to live comfortably for the rest of her life without ever working, okay? And she gave her mom a hefty amount of money, enough to buy her dream car, her dream house. Her mom doesn't ever have to work again. Like, she won a lot of money, and she blessed her mom. She blessed her dad slightly. When I say slightly, I mean she gave her dad like 50,000, you know, a little some, not too much though. That 50,000 gonna run up, so you know what I mean. But yeah, she has a little grudge against her dad, but she blessed TF out of her mama, and she didn't give any to her brother because her brother is a homophobic, violent POS. That's what I heard though, sir. So if you watch this video, don't come beat my ass, okay? So that's how it's a happy ending, because mama's living her best life on her best piece of land, in her best home, driving her best car, with her best husband, and her best daughter is blessing her with the most best things. Daddy's married and happy and got $50,000 that will probably ran out by now, to be honest. And the brother, who's a piece of shit, who knows what he's doing? We don't know. She don't talk to him. Nobody talks to him. Shit. But that's that on that. Leave a comment down below, and I always say this. Let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you before. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Both of them are right here on the screen. And I also have a lifestyle Instagram account right here called Mrs. PereaseMars. I do mini vlogs. I do recipes. I do all that great stuff over there, and I'm having a lot of fun with you guys over there. So make sure you follow me on my lifestyle Instagram account as well. And if you didn't know, if you didn't watch my last video, I also started a lifestyle mommy content channel for those people who are interested in my pregnancy and what's going on with it. It is youtube.com/PereaseMarsTV. Go subscribe if you haven't already. And the first video will be me opening all these gifts that you guys got me from Amazon. I'm actually gonna film that video later on today. And my labor and delivery and every other video about my pregnancy and lifestyle type things are gonna be on that channel because I wanna keep this channel comedy, story related. Okay? So go subscribe to that channel if you're interested in that type of content. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I love you guys so much with all my heart. Live your truth and be the best you. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye. I'm so extra.